Hello and welcome to another update video about Optimism. So Optimism is still following through to the upside. It's very short term here in a possible downtrend, but overall the trend is still up in my opinion. The current view would be that we bottomed here in the fourth wave in this support area that we had, the trend reversal area. It then did rally, came down quite strongly, but it did hold, I believe, the 78.6 Fibonacci retracement. No, the 61.8 it held even, which is absolutely possible for a wave 2, and we could now be in this third wave of the fifth. So the overall, I mean, it's a great example of a coin which has made a new all-time high in the bear market, yeah, which is just amazing. We've been talking about that coin when it was down here. Yeah, also I didn't buy the absolute low here. I bought around 125, still hold 50% of that position, and I intend to hold that. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. For now, it possibly completed here 1-2 setup. Yeah, this looks impulsive. So a possible wave 1. We have a 3-wave move down in a wave 2, and this could have been a third wave rally. Not the third wave itself, but maybe the first wave of the third wave. Now that's where we get into micro counting, which then at some point gets less reliable, but we can maintain this view as long as we're holding the 234, 235 level. Now you can argue that if this is an option, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let me just label that accurately here. So if we say something like this is going on, then in this wave 2, it should really, even though it's coming down quite impulsively, yeah, but it should hold actually support at the 78.6 Fib at the latest. If it drops below 255, there is a good chance that we're going to get a reset here. First of the wave 2. What does that mean? It could very well be that this was only an A wave because it's in 3 waves. This here an overshooting B wave, and we come down in C. Yeah. That's what I mean, you know, against 235 we can maintain this particular count. Below 235 you need to be ready that it could just be putting in here an ABC expanded flat pattern. Basically A wave, B wave, C wave, and would then move up from there. But again, this C wave then, it should not drop below the 78.6 Fib level of that 1-2 setup. So we talk here about 225. Yeah, so against 235, this pattern is valid. 235, yeah, below 225, I think the idea that that this is a 1-2 is getting challenged, and then we are probably retesting support down here at 207, yeah, the previous lows. But at the latest there, it's going to turn into a downtrend, which is also when I might close my position. For now, I leave it open. It's a spot position. But yeah, I mean, trend is clearly still up. Yeah, we are still making higher highs here. We're making higher lows, even though we're getting increased headwinds up there, which is normal because if you zoom out, similar situation to Bitcoin, most of the easy money in this rally has been made. This is the 1-2 setup. I think we discussed that already. Well, yeah, when it happened in October. And you could argue that this is obviously then at some point here the third wave, you could say, right? So the end of a rally. To be honest, this is probably not correct. It depends on how high we go here eventually, right? Because this could just be a third wave. Actually, I'm seeing that. We could say this was wave 1, wave 2. This is wave 3. Then a 4 and a 5 instead of a 1-2 setup. But that wouldn't make any difference in the very short term now. Yeah. Let me just double check that. Just seeing that. Yeah, by all means. I mean, this could become the third wave actually, and then we should get a shallow fourth and another 5. We'll see. We take it level by level, but for now, it's first of all we need to focus on, can we get a proper 5-wave move up here complete? I don't really have 5 waves up yet, so in all what's reasonable, ideally it should still happen. Yeah. And then we've got this support area, which is relevant for a 4th wave, because at the moment all of this could technically still be some sort of an extended 4th wave as well. But in the very short term, the trend is up, and we could be in this 5th wave already. Here again, you only see a 3-wave move up, but there's no point focusing on too many scenarios. So choose one, trade one until it fails. So the primary one I would say at the moment is we're working on higher here, but be aware of that 235 level and the 225 level are highlighted. And then we are probably going to retest this support. And then if it drops below this support, which is here down to 189 or 190, then it's probably going to head into a downtrend on the daily. And we did only get 3 waves up and may continue in the bear market. Be aware of that scenario, yeah. For now, we need to focus on getting a 5th wave for a more reliable long-term uptrend. Until then, there's a risk that this was only, yeah, basically a 3-wave move up so far, yeah, not a 5-wave move up yet. So I'm still waiting here for one more high. This cannot be the 5th wave because it's only in 3 waves so far. So I would be very, very surprised. But yeah, that's sort of where we are. So that should give you all the key levels here. Yes, very short term here downtrend, but you can see how volatile it was over the last few days and weeks. Out of the blue, you know, it did the turnarounds, but it did adhere very well to the Fibonacci levels. I mean, even this wave 4 support area here was a Fib support area. Here in the 1-2 setup, it adhered again to the 61.8 retracement, and now we have here also Fib support at the 61.8 and 254, and then obviously the low here at 235 is more of a structural support level. But against these levels, the focus can be on higher still, yeah. But yeah, then we get obviously into micro counting. And don't get too emotional about short-term swings here. Try to get the entries, in my opinion, at the support areas. And then you can move up your stop loss quite quickly, depending on how you trade, what you trade, right? But it's all about, in my opinion, scaling into support, scaling out in resistance. And maybe it might even be worth here to add a trend line. Now, again, these can work sometimes, sometimes not. This is only 2 touch points, even though here we adhere to it quite nicely. But let's see, maybe we even come down and touch it. That would be pretty close to that. Let me just measure that again, to the 78.6 Fib level, I would say, yep. So you've got a bit of confluence down here around that 255 level, the 78.6 retracement, yeah. That's sort of what I would focus on most imminently. And then we get to all these other, the previous lows, yeah. And at the latest, when we break below the green support area, we're heading into a downtrend, especially as we've got the 50-day moving average coming up here. So this is obviously also a trend filter. This has provided support since early January. So dropping below that as well would increase the chances of the daily trend is turning down. Okay, that's my update about Optimism. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.